Hi, everyone. I'm Emily,
This is Eva.
and you're listening to Speech Talk.
We're your research-based book club so you can do evidence-based practice in practice.
So let's get talking.
Today's episode is brought to you from bed. It's where you sleep. And sometimes when your home office is occupied, it's where you work. Bed, brought to you since mattress. I'm working from bed today, you guys.
Bedside swallow evals.
Yes. Way to make that speech related. Oh, I love you. Today's episode is about how to bust out a quick dysphagia assessment, a quickie, if you will, when time is not on your side. And today, I had that truly reinforced for me when I went to see a patient and we were going over his concerns about the meals he'd been brought and how he felt like he couldn't eat bacon. And I was like, can you not eat bacon? Is it an allergy? He's like, it's an allergy. And this is what has been coming to me on my trays. And he dramatically unveils his tray and there's a sausage. And I was like, okay. And he's like, well, aren't these the same? And I was like, well, in the sense that they're like both breakfast meats. Anyways, this conversation went on for 20 plus minutes with him threatening to call the police, which he did. And then I had to like debrief my DOR on our conversation. And so yeah, I had to like do all that and write an eval.
Oh my gosh.
Cops got called. I had to argue about breakfast meats, and I was just like, if only there was a fast way to check someone's swallowing ability. And thankfully, there is.
Right. So when you're so bogged down with police reports and having to write up your crazy write-ups, keeping your dysphagia screeners quick and easy is the best way to do it. So
Yeah.
today we are talking about two screeners. We're going to talk about the TOMASS.
TOMASS? You tell us. Quick
I
poll.
don't know. Yeah. Someone leave us a comment. Let us know that we're saying it wrong and yell at us. And the Yale. So they're super simple, and all you need is a cracker and a 3-ounce cup of water.
Yeah, that's right. And the main question we wanted to know about was, are these valid? If you've never done the TOMASS, or the Yale before, we're going to briefly review their steps. But to answer the question, does eating a cracker and knocking back a shot of water really count as a valid dysphagia screener? Yes. Thankfully, we found out for you. The answer is yes, and we'll go over why.
Just a quick shout out to our OT friends that the cracker/water test is a great way to see if a person is performing self-feeding functionally. So, and it was actually funny today because I was thinking about this. I was doing the TOMASS. Now I'm saying it like you, Eva. That's not the way I say it. That's the way you say it. And she was trying to open it like a bag of chips, and then she tried to tear it like at the side, and I was like, there's ridges, man. You could just pull it down. It took her a good 30 seconds, but it was the longest 30 seconds of my life, and I was like, "Hey, guys, functional problem solving, fine motor skills. She needs you."
Yeah, or I have watched people like, I'll put the cracker on the table and all of a sudden you realize like they can't like coordinate getting it off the table or they don't have the dexterity to get it to their mouth. And I'm always like, BT dub OTs, you may want to work on self-feeding.
Yeah,
Hashtag
one of their,
emails.
like, 18 different billable codes. I get anxiety looking at their bill sheets.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys do that. Today we're going to talk about the TOMAS's validity and applications. Let's jump into it. So, what was our article, Emily?
The article was from NIH, The Test of Masticating and Swallowing Solids, parentheses, TOMASS, Reliability and Validity in Patients with Dysphagia by Tadaro et al.
The research examined the TOMASS swallow screen accuracy in detecting swallow difficulties. So they had two groups with and without dysphagia, about 39 people, matched for age and gender, and they underwent the TOMASS. And the scores were compared between therapists and with a FEES exam in the dysphagia group for validity. So the researchers also looked at factors like oral health, meal duration to see if they aligned with the TOMASS score. They ruled that the TOMASS proved reliable with consistent scoring by different therapists, so good rater reliability, and uh, intra-rater reliability, so people are able to consistently do it themselves and have the same score. People with dysphagia took longer to chew and swallow, with more chews and swallows compared to the healthy group.
And we're talking about this before we jumped on, but they put in, like, the tiny box that looked at the normative data for the people who had the amount of chews per swallow, and I don't know if they were trying to get us to use magnifying glasses or make us all feel like we're very old. The TOMASS screen is great in skilled nursing facilities because we often need quick methods to gauge someone's swallow. At first, I was skeptical, but after reading this article and knowing its effectiveness made me feel more confident in using it and advocating for its use as a routine screening tool. I first heard about the TOMASS when at my old building, it was an automatic drop down menu that you could plug in. And then I was looking for this test so I could do it. And it was so easy.
So one of the great things about the TOMASS is that it's really easy to build in. Here are all the steps that you got to say. Step 1, say, eat this as quickly and as comfortably as possible while handing them a cracker. And when you have finished, say your name out loud. Then you count the number of bites, you count the number of chews, and you count the number of swallows. And they very conveniently have like a little tally box or like space for you to write down tally marks on the test handout, which Emily, you want to tell them what you did?
I turned it into a badge buddy. So we made a badge buddy so you can do it on the run so you're not thinking about how many times you're trying to do this. Whenever I'm giving the TOMAS, I have my Apple Watch out and I'll start my timer and then I have, as crazy it sounds, a hand for each thing. Like I have a hand for number of bites per discrete bites per cracker, a hand for a number of swallows, and then I mentally count how many times they're chewing. So then I'm looking and then I'm like writing everything down afterwards. So they're like staring at me like, "What are you doing with your hands?" And I'm like, "Shush, shush, shush. Just eat the cracker so I could count."
This test doesn't say, ask me what I'm doing. Shh. You chew, you swallow. The only thing you say is your name.
I always get people asking me too, like, "Can I drink water?" Like, no, not until the first cracker is done. After the first cracker is done, then you can take a sip and then do the other cracker, but not in the middle. If they have to take a sip of water to
Yeah.
get the cracker down, they fail. Big F.
Fail. And, in the whole naturalistic speeching thing, it is good to know if your patient is like, I genuinely don't think I can swallow this without water. You're like, great, this person can't do regular textures without alternating with thin liquids. We've learned something about your swallow.
Yeah.
We'll put in eval.
Yeah, I was like, "Just try, but if genuinely you feel like you can't, then just don't, like, don't push yourself." But yes, we made a badge buddy, so it has on there where you put the tally marks, the questions you have to ask. The only thing that you would also need to bring is your cracker.
Yeah, and one of the things I really like about how simple this is that you also get a really quick look at some cognitive issues or potential cognitive issues. Emily and I will talk till the cows come home about the intersection of dysphagia and cognition. But, if somebody can't sequence the steps or if they're highly impulsive, they're talking a lot during the test, like they actually can't adhere to the directions of please don't talk while you're chewing, or they are adding things in, they're asking you, what do I do next? We know that maybe we're looking at difficulty with three-step directions. We know maybe we're looking at short-term memory difficulties. So those are all things that also affect our dysphagia plan of care development, right? If this person is going to end up needing, if they follow, sorry, not if they follow, if they fail the TOMAS and they end up needing support we now know maybe they have limited strategies they can implement because they can't follow directions consistently.
Yeah, I also noticed this is kinda where I start to feel the masking happening. Right? Like, I don't always catch masking right away, but I'll start catching masking here when I'm like, here's this cracker," and maybe they're a edentulous, and they're like, "I don't have my teeth in, like, I don't think I'll be able to do this because I don't have my teeth in, I don't have XYZ," and it's like, "It's okay, just do your best." "Do you normally chew with your teeth out?" We're like, "Yeah, I never eat my teeth." "Then perfect, it doesn't make a difference anyways, I wouldn't wanna see you chew something a way you're not gonna eat it." But then they'll start, asking other questions like Eva you just said, like they're sequencing, "Am I doing this right, or is this going, or this is never how I eat. I never eat a saltine cracker. I've never eaten a saltine cracker without chicken noodle soup since I was 6 years old." And this show is like, "It's okay. Not a big deal." But this is again, it's like it's a different masking when it's dysphagia masking rather than, like, necessarily cog masking, but it feels the
Yeah.
same.
No, that's a really good point. A common one I get with is, "Oh, yeah, I can definitely eat that." And then there's a chewing breakdown, and I start to talk to them about it, and they're like, "Well, it's because this is a stale cracker." And I'm like, "Well, saltines are notoriously dry and crunchy, you know?"
I know. They always say that. I'm like, "Why would you just give me a saltine cracker?" I mean, I don't know. This is the way I am. I'm sorry. I'm here to torture you. They're like, "You're not gonna bring me any frosting or chocolate sauce?" Like, "No, what? What's wrong with
I'm
you?"
just here to make you struggle. It's my job.
And if you do too good, I will find ways to make you struggle. It's a little sadistic. That's what I'm here for. There's a reason people don't like speech therapy. It is I.
Ugh,
I am the
I
problem.
love not being liked. What are some actionable items here? Stock up on saltines, yo. Just keep them all in your bag.
So many saltines, and then you have to have extra for when they get to the bottom of your bag, and then they're just like saltine dust. So you have the extra ones for the ones that got destroyed.
Yeah, yeah. You have to have compensatory saltines. And the funny thing about, like, carrying saltines around is I'll have people pocket them. I'm like, "All right, we're gonna do a quick eating swallowing test. Here's some saltine crackers. I'm gonna tell you how I want you to eat them." And then they just take it, they, like, put it in their pocket. And they're like, "Thank you."
No, like,
And
right now.
I'm like, "You failed this test because you thought this was a gift."
So from the TOMASS, we are going to the Yale. So these are 2 screeners I routinely use together.
We covered solids. Let's move on to liquids. It's fast. It's easy. It's Ivy League. It's the Yale Swallow study.
So we're going to talk about the Yale Swallow Protocol, a simple yet super useful tool for identifying potential swallowing problems in adults.
Today's research article is validation of the Yale Swallow Protocol, a prospective double-blind video fluoroscopic study by Suter et al., published 2014 in the journal Dysphagia.
So how does it work? There's 2 bits. There's a cognitive screening bit and an oral mechanism exam bit. So the cognitive screening, so a brief assessment to check patients' alertness, mental clarity, as, if they're not alert and able to answer questions fully, it's going to impact their swallowing.
Nothing like trying to get a sleeping patient to drink water, am I right?
And they're always making us do it like, "Oh, they refused you?" Like, "Yes, they were sleeping. Try again tomorrow." And then we have the oral mech. So we're checking lips, tongue, and throat for any weaknesses or structural abnormalities that might hinder swallowing.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to swallow when, like, your lips drooping because of that stroke you had. So, good to know about that. Alright, so let's get into the water swallow challenge. We're offering the patient 3 ounces of water. If you don't have 3-ounce cups, I will sometimes modify the nursing cup the nursing cart cups because those are oftentimes 4 ounces at my facility. So I'll just, like, fill it 3/4 of the way, um, and ask them to drink it in sequential swallows, slowly and steadily, and basically, you're looking for any difficulties, any Signs and symptoms of oral, pharyngeal, or esophageal difficulties: coughing, gagging, gurgly, wet voice. What else is there, Emily?
Choking, if they put the cup down for any reason, if they just don't wanna finish, um, watering eyes, shortness of breath.
Dribbling out the mouth?
Yeah,
Yeah.
any, anterior spillage, any of those things.
You know what the Yale always makes me think of? I don't know if you've seen the movie Airplane, when the guy's always like, "I have a drinking problem," and he throws the water over his shoulder. I always think about that when the person's taking, like, the little cup. I'm like, "I'm here to see if you have a drinking problem," and then they drink from the little cup. I always just imagine my patient throwing the water over their shoulder like, "Oh, yeah, you do have a drinking problem."
Hello, I'm Diane Morgan. If you know who I am, you know who I am. If you don't, who cares? I'm here to explain Italian Time, a holiday phenomenon where Italians throw away their clocks and gather for eternity with San Pellegrino. I've been at this party so long that I've eaten 5 courses, hugged someone's grandma twice, and been offered a job in the family restaurant. So this holiday season, make sure to bring enough San Pellegrino to last you through the meal, the after meal, and the entire goodbye ritual. San Pellegrino, holiday on Italian Time.
You missed. No, I haven't seen that. I have to watch that movie. Is that an old movie? Is that like a '60s movie? Does that
It's
have the guy from Naked Gun?
Yeah, it's an oldie. I just had a patient today tell me, he failed this. He can't do successive sips. So his wife, super proactive, got him a Provel cup, and he hates it. And he's like, "I don't like that it's just giving me these tiny sips." And I'm like, "Okay, but do you remember how when you drink multiple sips in a row, you go."
Oh, it's that bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And he's like, "No, I don't remember that." I'm like, "Ah, all right, well, we can also talk about that."
Well, there's also the,
The self-regulating straw?
self-regulating straw. It has a name. Doesn't it have a name?
It does. It sure does.
What's the name?
That name is out there somewhere in the world.
Ah, if it's someone who wants to have a little bit more.
Undercover?
Yeah, so they're not, like, drinking out of something that looks like a sippy cup.
Mhm.
So they
More
like that.
discreet.
Discreet. Yes. Thank you, Eva.
I got you.
We'll come back to this. But there's that option too. So, if the Prevail is something that is just embarrassing, I've had people tell me that, like, "I'm not a baby, don't give me that." I'm like,
Yeah, don't
"Okay,
give me the
well."
I don't want the sippy cup.
Yeah. Well, what else can we do?
Get that.
Let's go through this.
Yeah, and to that point, we always wanna be focusing on what a patient will do. So if they can self-regulate by, like, pinching a straw, then we can definitely train that. If they are somebody who will not do that, then it's kinda like, well, my best recommendation is that you then have an external regulatory function like the Prevail cup or the self-regulating straw. If you can't do that, then you own your own, son.
Like, these are our recommendations. You do with them what you wish. If you feel like going to 7-Eleven and getting a Slurpee, then just do you
With the big straw,
with the
as the
big
Yale
bowl.
to end all therapy sessions. You do you, bae.
It's just a recommendation. What else can I do for you? So why do we like it? It's fast. You're asking these people, like, their name, the date, their cognitives, very quick,
Yeah, it's consistent. Mhm.
and then you're drinking that small bit of water, but the whole thing takes less than 10 minutes max. Like, that is a long time to be able to do this. And then, like, what you just said is consistent. Like, the more you do it, the easier it is, and it doesn't take very long for you to just get into a rote habit with giving this quick screener. A positive Yale Swallow Protocol suggests a low risk of aspiration. However, a failed swallow test warrants further evaluation and potentially modified diets or swallowing therapy. So it's very sensitive. Like, it's quick, it's sensitive, it's easy, it's fast. What more could you want from a quickie?
Ugh, that was such a big wink moment. I love that. It's like, what more could you want from a quickie? When we are choosing our evaluation measures, we also always need to make sure that they are appropriate for our patients. So one thing is, it is not appropriate for everybody. So our trach vent folks or people who are potentially more medically complex or fragile, we we maybe don't want to just be like, knock back this 3 ounces without swallowing.
Without swallowing.
We also want to, without swallowing. um, sorry.
No, definitely swallow it. Yeah, that's the point.
Definitely swallow, just at the end.
So I did have somebody who was coming off of a trach, and I gave them the Yale, and they performed just stinking fine. But because I knew about I know about trachs and was, working with trachs, I knew that I had to get him a instrumental, and there's just something about trachs that they do not present with signs and symptoms with swallowing. Like, they don't have those typical overt signs and symptoms that you would in a regular person because they have decreased sensation, they have decreased everything. So then we got the instrumental, and he was actually aspirating kind of a lot, and he was, sick. We did a bunch of swallow once he was capped and, the passing ear was able to be removed and his trach wasn't there, he was able to swallow just fine. But while he had a trach in place, he seemed like he was doing so well, and it just wasn't actually going well at all. So it's just interesting because, even those people, if you don't know and you don't work with trachs a lot, then you can do this Yale and be like, "Oh, they're totally fine." But no, trachs always, always need instrumental swallow studies.
See, I learn from you all the time. I almost never work with trach people. And I mean, I literally never work with trach people. See, I learned something today.
No, they always do. I once had person totally pass the Yale, totally pass the TOMASS, and I'm like, "No, we're picking up and we're doing instrumental because I see you, I know." And they were suctioning ramen noodles from this person's throat, and I was like, "No, see, this is why." She ended up saying, regular thin liquids just because that was her choice as a person. She wanted to continue to eat, and her order just stayed, will suction after every single meal and every single snack.
Do you
But
remember in our youth, in the childhood era, when people do that thing where they put a pasta noodle up their nose and out the other side? No,
ew,
nobody ever
no,
did that
no,
to freak you out?
n
10-year-old
no.
boys, man, 10-year-old boys are wild.
No,
Real
but, yeah, the way that you said it was like it happened multiple times. Like, this is a
Yeah.
reoccurring issue in your life that people were just stuffing noodles through one nostril to the other.
No, it
No.
was 3 things boys would do that were gross. It was flip your eyelids inside out, put a noodle through your nose, and
No.
something else. But that's what I thought of when you said that. It's you want to see something a little more intense than a noodle through the nose? It's ramen out the trach.
Yep, and it was consistent. We're like
Yeah.
and we'd have to say, she's like, "Oh, I'm not. That's not me. I'm not doing that." And we're like, "No, no, look. It's it was suctioned. It came from you.
Here.
Nobody else in this room had ramen. It was just you."
Oh, yeah. That's a lot. You're like, "Oh, this is for you. It's from you and for you." Just a
Yeah.
little visual reminder of what's happening.
So, yeah, again, the TOMAS is useful. You can use it to say, yes, their mastication is great, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's right for every person.
Yeah.
And again, the Yale, it's great, but doesn't mean it's necessarily right for every person.
We also a convenient part about this is the goal writing. If they fail it, it is a very concrete task to be able to write, patient will tolerate 3 ounces of water or thin liquids, sequential sips, or using strategies as appropriate. So I think it transfers over to our goal writing portion quite nicely.
Yeah. And then if the results of the Yale are cause for concern, you can definitely use this as a reason for referral for getting an instrumental assessment done. And I
We love an instrumental.
I know. I love them. I love them, and I get it because they are always so far and few between at skilled nursing environments. But if this person is, doing most of these overt signs and symptoms of aspiration, that's one of those people that you're like, "No, no, no, you need to get instrumental in here now." And just fight for those people.
Yeah. And particularly at my facility, I don't know if you feel this way, Emily, as quickly as we can make that recommendation, the better. Because, yeah, it can get bogged down in bureaucracy. The order doesn't, get seen by the doctor for a while. Then it takes a while to coordinate, like, getting them to a place where they offer a fees or an MBS. So just being able to, like, first day walk in, be like, whoa, they are demonstrating signs and symptoms with a very small amount of water. Let's get them an instrumental to follow up and see what's happening. The quicker, the better.
Yeah. And you have harder times with that too, Eva, because you don't have any on-site companies that can come to the facility. We don't have to worry about sending it out. But I mean, for you, and it's crazy as densely populated as your area is, Eva, you'd think that they would have that. So if there's any California people listening, you need to hop on this opportunity because you're needed. You are needed.
Yeah. Get your fees in all the buildings. Just get up in there.
Quick aside, the Yale is not an SLP only club like the TOMASS. So nursing can administer the Yale to screen for dysphagia. This, if they are concerned, if your age are concerned, a nurse is very capable of giving the resident a Yale and seeing what are they doing, and then putting that report into us. Like, hey, they failed. This is actually more typical of hospital settings rather than nursing facility settings, but it's still true. Like, your nurses can do this.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll see the note, like, nursing cleared for SLP eval with a Yale in our documentation we get.
I noticed, though, a lot of times nursing isn't super knowledgeable about those signs and symptoms of silent aspiration, like the watering eyes, increased in respiration, or difficulty breathing. They're not noticing just like a wet or a back vocal quality. Like, they'll notice some if it's obvious and they know coughing and throat clears, but definitely the watery eyes is not something that I found that nurses have been very knowledgeable about. They could be, just maybe not the ones I've met.
No, definitely always working on education within the facility is fantastic. So just remember, Emily made you a badge buddy. So if you're done listening to us and you're like, I do want to try this, go ahead and see what we made you.
Yeah, it's going to be listed in our website under the freebies. There'll be a description. Pair it with some of our other badge buddies. Make your life easier, and it's free.
Oh, yeah. We're always trying to make your life easier for free.
Because I want someone to do it for me, Eva.
Where's my free stuff?
I do it for you because I want it.
Emily's so proactive, you guys. It's crazy. Thank you for joining us. We love talking to each other. And we recently looked at some of our episode numbers, and apparently some people are listening. So thank you, guys.
I'm so excited to see some of those numbers. Please leave us some comments or send us some emails on things that you want to listen to, what you like, what you don't. We're here. We're listening.
We want to talk about stuff that you want to hear about. So please let us know.
You've been listening to Speech Talk.
Thank you, everyone, for coming to listen to our Research Book Club. Until next time, keep learning and leading with research.
If you liked this episode and you want to give us some love, please rate us on your favorite podcasting app. Leave a review and tell the world, because as podcasters, our love language is in positive affirmations.
If you have a research topic you want us to cover, or you have episode comments, clinical experience you want to share, or just want to send us some love letters, send us an email at hello@speechtalkpod.com.
If you want even more Speech Talk content, check out our website at speechtalkpod.com, where you can find all of our resources we made for you, copies of articles covered, and Eva's blog following these topics and more.
We're your hosts, Eva Johnson and Emily Brady.
Our editor and engineer is Andrew Sims.
Our music is by Omar Ben-Zvi.
Our executive producers are Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brook.
To learn about Speech Talk's program disclaimer and ethics policy, verification and licensing terms, and HIPAA release terms, you can go to speechtalkpod.com/disclaimers.
Speech Talk is a proud member of the Human Content Podcast Network.
with content.